I'm Tom Brock, Chief Executive of the Scottish Seabird Centre, one of Scotland's leading tourist attractions. We're now attracting over 250,000 visits a year to the centre. But right from the start, when we opened in the year 2000, sustainability was at the core of everything that we do. I think it is important that all businesses really think about the environment, their impact on the environment, and they do something to lessen their negative impact.
My name is Paul Nixon. I'm the Discovery Centre Manager and Head of the Green Team here at the Scottish Seabird Centre. Since we introduced Plan Green Zero initiative, we've put some measures in place which has had real big financial savings, but also very big environmental savings. The wind turbine's been in place now for 3 years, and the solar panels have been in place now for just over a year. So we're starting to get good readings now annually what we're able to produce ourselves in-house. Thermal imaging is where a photographer comes with a specialised camera, and what that's doing is it's taking a photograph of where heat loss is being leaked, if you like, out of the building. And what it does is once you've got those photographs, it enables you to target specific areas where there's maybe thin insulation or poor insulation and top that insulation up.
I'm Robert Haig and I work for BCA Insulation. Today we're installing energy efficient insulation. Well, the process for installing insulation is that it comes to our factory in bags, and we then bring it on site, and then a pump mashes it up and breaks it up to be pumped through a hose and into the ceiling.
So the materials that we use for the insulation, it was very important that we were using natural products, and it's a byproduct of wool making that has gone into top up the access cavities where we were leaking heat from the building.
Today we're installing warm cell, which has a very good U value, and today we're putting it into the ceilings. The warm cell is very good because we can put it into areas where you cannot reach with traditional insulation.
Actually, when the building was first built, there was a layer of insulation put in. However, what we'd identified through the thermal images was it was quite a thin layer. So what we were doing was in fact just topping up those layers and making it more efficient, more insulated.
My name is Derek Dewar and my company is Energy Sense UK. I believe from the analysis reports and through experience, we will be able to save 80% of the costs of running the current lighting system by employing alternative products.
So in terms of lighting, we've put together a lot of new bulbs that have come onto the market. So we've replaced a lot of our old halogen bulbs, which are maybe burning, say, 50 watts, with some very ultra efficient 5 watt burning LEDs. So instantly there's been a massive savings on that.
In the Scottish Seabird Centre itself, there are various areas that have different types of lighting. Our remit is to reduce the energy consumption of that lighting, but also to maintain the aesthetic look of the Scottish Seabird Centre in terms of the lighting quality. Initially, in working with any customer or client, we have to audit and assess the energy consumption and the carbon footprint of their current system. We do this by counting light bulbs, taking the cost of the electricity, working out their operating hours, and we can come up with a figure that will show how much carbon they're producing, how much electricity they're using over a given period, and our remit then is to try and find products that will reduce that usage. In the cafeteria area, they have a number of fittings that the Scottish Seabird Centre has chosen to retain. They've chosen to retain these just because of the pure design of them. They are made to look like seabirds. However, the inside workings of those fittings definitely needed renewed. They needed renewed for 2 reasons. One is they consume too much energy. And secondly, they were just old, they needed refurbished. We have managed to come up with a plan that can refurbish those units, keeping the aesthetic outers and saving over 50% of the consumption of energy. Within the the centre there is a toilet corridor and obviously washroom. They were on constantly. They were on from the time the centre opened to the time the centre closes. What we have chosen to install there is the same type of fitting, but these fittings automatically dim when there is no present detected. So basically for the time when there is no one there, they will only run at 10% of the consumption of the original fittings. Within the kitchen area, the Seabird Centre employs what is known as an IP65 fitting. It's a non-corrosive and it needs to be sealed because it is a kitchen area. These were fairly new type lights, however still energy intensive. We chose to use a product called Save It Easy. This product converts magnetically ballasted lighting to high frequency ballasted lighting. In addition to that, it also converts from T8 style fluorescent tubes down to T5 style fluorescent tubes. T5 fluorescent tubes last 3 times as long and they're 3 times as efficient. In the stairwells we have utilised the same type of lighting as we have done in the toilet areas. As people can descend the stairs, these lights will come on to light up the area they are in and will go off again after a given period of time. Those lights, when they're not running, they're running at 10%, they consume a lot less electricity. Mostly in the shop area there are halogen dichroic lights. These are used in display cabinets, they are used to highlight stairwell areas and they are used to highlight the general lighting in the shop area. We've had to employ different light colours, different beam angles and different LED wattage versions to accommodate the aesthetic appearance that the Scottish Seabird Centre requested. Probably one of the most important areas in the Scottish Seabird Centre is their Discovery Centre. The Discovery Centre is an area used to make exhibits, displays and interactive displays. There also has to be an atmospheric feel to the Discovery Centre, so the lighting is key in how it's approached. Again, we've utilised a number of different products in here, but a lot of the work was focused on just getting it right, getting the ambience right and getting the mood right for such an important part of the Seabird Centre.
So the final part of the project was installing the hot water panels. We're already producing our own electricity via PV panels, but the hot water panels, what they do is they soak up the heat effectively from the sun and preheat the water that then goes into our boilers. So our boilers don't have to work as hard. They're starting off with warmer water going into them than water straight in from the mains. So we reckon we can get our water about 9 degrees warmer going into the boiler, which means that our boilers aren't having to heat that 9 degrees initially to get it up to the temperature we need them to be at.
I'm Nigel.
And I'm Paul, and we work for Glendivan Energy. We're here to install a solar thermal system which will heat the hot water for the canteen and the toilets.
Actually in 3 sets of tube systems going up rather than solar panels, it's solar vacuum tubes. Each panel will heat up to about 300 litres of hot water.
We're looking to heat 70% of the hot water that's produced within the building. It should dramatically reduce the gas costs to heat the hot water set.
So really the Green Team's not going to be idle now that all these initiatives have gone in place. There's a lot more that we can do. For instance, we're not being very visible about our purchasing policies, about where we're buying things from, and we have a duty really to purchase locally wherever possible. So when you go to our cafe, the beer is made just down the road, or our milk is from cows that have grazed in the Lanamure Hills, just behind the Seabird Centre. But really, it's getting that message across to our visitors is the next step of ours. And also another big project that I'm very passionate about is rainwater harvesting. We go through about 250,000 litres of water a year on flushing toilets here, and we've got a massive copper roof area. And one of the things where we could make further savings is instead of using fresh, clean water, we could actually be using rainwater to flush those toilets. So it's been a fantastic project to be a part of. It's been great working with so many enthusiastic people.
Obviously for a company like Energy Sense UK, it's great to be involved with such a community-spirited organisation and a charitable organisation.
Working on projects for organisations like the Seabird Centre is especially rewarding. because they are a community focused organisation.
Every little bit helps as you put these things together.
But also, because the centre itself attracts over 250,000 visitors a year, we're a very visible site here, and there's a lot of visitors that will come up to you and say, what are those panels doing, or how effective are your solar panels, or how much electricity are you making for your wind turbine. So it's great, and it's a really good talking point for anybody that's coming to visit the centre. So a big thanks has to really go to the people that have all been involved with the project and the Green team, especially Charlie with the fundraising side of this and generating enough funds to help us pay for this work. So far the Seabird Centre has invested £40,000 in Plan Green Zero. 20,000 of that was for the hot water panels, 17,000 of that was for the lighting and the LEDs, and 3,000 was for the thermal imaging and the insulation.
Well, because sustainability is at the core of everything that we do, we have entered numerous awards, and we are proud holders of the Gold Award for Green Tourism Business Scheme. But as well as that, we also applied and managed to win the Queen's Award for Sustainability twice. That's the Queen's Award for Enterprise in the Sustainability category. A huge accolade for the centre. The Queen herself came to the Scottish Seabird Centre and presented the award, so that was something that really was great community pride for people in North Berwick. But the Scottish Seabird Centre is a fantastic day out for everyone. You can spend a lot of time here because there is so much to see and do. The Discovery Centre has got a whole range of interactive remote wildlife cameras out in the neighbouring islands, so you can actually zoom in on the wildlife without disturbing it. So out in the Bass Rock there's 150,000 gannets and you can zoom in. David Attenborough, who visited it recently, was just absolutely astounded by it, and he described it as one of the wildlife wonders of the world. In the puffin season you can do the same and look at the puffins, but as well as that there's kids zones. We've got a wildlife theatre showing a variety of different wildlife films throughout the day. We've got temporary exhibitions, we've got a flyaway tunnel where you can find out about the migration routes that animals go on throughout the world, why they migrate, the challenges they face. And the centre's open every day apart from Christmas Day. And in the winter we've got a fantastic attraction, that's the grey seals, and we actually see the pups being born live in camera. We run a whole range of different boat trips out to the island so you can actually see what these wonderful wildlife islands are actually like. Well, this is a special place, looking out to the Bass Rock and the Seabird Centre itself. It's full of wildlife, it really is fantastic. We're only half an hour from Edinburgh and we've got 500,000 seabirds out there, plus occasionally dolphins, grey seal breeding populations, common seals. We've got a huge amount of wildlife, and our interactive live cameras here at the centre show it all. It really is a place that's well worth a visit.